Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inshallah, we continue with verse 43 from Surah Al-Baqarah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَارْكَعُوا مَعَ الرَّاكِعِينَ. So in this verse, Allah is still talking to Bani Israel, just like in the previous verse, He commanded them to believe in the Quran that Allah revealed, that confirms what they received from the previous messengers. And then Allah here tells them, in addition to believing in the Quran, you also have to aqim salah, you have to establish the prayer. Just like Prophet Musa alayhi salam used to pray in a very similar way to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, as we know from the Old Testament. There are verses where the prophets are falling on their face and they're praying to God just like the Muslims do. So and we know from Al-Mi'raj, the hadith of the Mi'raj, when the Prophet ﷺ ascended to the heavens, Prophet Musa is the one who told him, ask Allah to reduce the number of prayers because I tried with Bani Israel and it was too much for them, right? So until it became 5 prayers. So here Allah is commanding Bani Israel to establish the Salah. وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةِ, and to give zakah, to give the charity to the poor. As we know, zakah to purify, we give zakah to purify our wealth and to help the poor, and zakah also increases our money. And inshallah, we'll have a whole halaqah on zakah before we give our zakah this year. And then Allah says, وَارْكَعُوا مَعَ الرَّاكِعِينَ, and there are two tafsirs or two understandings of the verse, Arka' ma'a raka'in. Some of the mufassirun said it means submit with those who submit. And Islam, as we know, means submission, submitting your will to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the other group of mufassirin, they say that irka'u ma'a raka'in means do ruku' with those who do ruku', meaning pray or establish the salah with those who do salah. And they said that this verse is evidence for Salatul Jama'ah, that we have to pray the Salah in Jama'ah, in congregation. Now, when it comes to Salatul Jama'ah, do we have to do it in the masjid or do we not have to? So the scholars had difference of opinion. Is it a wajib? Is it something that is obligatory on every Muslim to pray in the masjid with Jama'ah? Or is it fard kifaya, like if a group of people do it, then the others don't have to do it, they can pray at home? Or that it is just sunnah? So Imam Malik believes it's sunnah to pray in the masjid, in Jama'ah. And Imam al-Shafi'i, rahimahullah, he believes, Imam al-Shafi'i believes it's fard kifaya, that it is, if a group of people do it, then the others don't have to do it. And Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, and one opinion in the Hanafi madhab is that it's fard ayn, so every Muslim must do Salat al-Jama'ah in the masjid. So, however, there is like some kind of condition here. And the condition is, do you hear the adhan or no, right? Because if you live far from the masjid and you can't hear the adhan, then it does, even in the madhab of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who says that it's obligatory on every single Muslim to pray in the masjid, except the women, of course. So it becomes, he says, if you cannot hear the adhan, because of the hadith of the blind man, Abdullah ibn Maktoum, when he went to the Prophet ﷺ and he told him that I'm blind and I cannot find my way to the masjid, the Prophet ﷺ said to him, do you hear the adhan? And he said, yes. Then the Prophet ﷺ said to him, then you have to go to the masjid, right? So from this hadith also, those who say that it's obligatory in every single Muslim, they use that hadith as well, that even the blind man had to go to the masjid to pray Salatul Jama'ah because he hears it. But the Hanbali, even though they believe it's fard ayn, they said, if the person can't hear the adhan because it's so far, the masjid is far away from them, then they don't have to go to the masjid for Salatul Jama'ah. They can pray Jama'ah at home with their family, etc. However, that does not apply to Salatul Jumu'ah. So the Friday prayer, even if you don't hear the adhan, you still have to go to the masjid that holds Salatul Jumu'ah. I hope inshallah you understand this. Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.